it's okay not to vote
Yeah,
Republican this
absolutely. And then not only that too, but if they're not very ready to vote Democrat, this is going to be that election that you might see some of those Republicans that maybe are on the fence, don't want to vote Democrat, just kind of sit out of this one too, you know?
And when I was a Republican in my family life, and we had an election in 2016, and I was living in California, at the time, and there was no doubt that Hillary was going to win California, and so the number of votes, made no difference whatsoever, unless you're, trying to get an amendment to the Constitution to do it by popular vote, and which I don't think will ever pass, and it shouldn't. But I was like, there is no way I can vote for Trump. Hillary would be a good choice, but I want to have it where I want, kind of fairness on everything all around, because I knew that there were some issues around how Clinton got the nomination and what had happened in relation to. So I was like, I just don't think I can reward that. But I there was no way I could vote for him, so I voted Libertarian. It was like my little protest vote. There weren't all that many of them, but would I have done that if it was a close race?
Yeah.
No. At that point, there's no question that I'm going to vote what is best for the country.
Yeah. Now, the supposedly the theme of the night was freedom, but the theme I kept hearing over and over, and it started in AOC's speech, is "we won't go back," and you just kept hearing that over and over and over. What was your take on that?
This is something we've been saying for quite a while, ever since since we're fighting the overturning of Roe, and we have so many constitutional amendments in so many states that we're not going to go back to those pre-Roe days, and we're not going to go backwards on civil rights in relationship to people in the trans community. We're not going to go back into regressive policies that harmed the country previously. And so that's something that has been a reoccurring theme even before the convention tonight. I mean, it was definitely a big part of our rally in Omaha on Saturday that we had prior to leaving for the convention. We had the first, I think it was like the first solo campaign stop for Governor Walz, who's from, Nebraska. So he was coming home to kick off his vice presidential campaign. It was so amazing, but that came up. We won't go back. And that's a theme that we're going to be pushing, because Americans don't want to go backwards. We're looking to go forward, and we're looking to create new and better things. And by being regressive and trying to return things to a time when things were not good, it's not what America wants. We're not going back. We are not.
No, especially after the last 4 years. And I don't want to jump ahead too much, but like you really heard it in Biden's speech when he was talking about the strides that we've made in manufacturing and semiconductor fabrication down in Texas. The amount of jobs that have been created, how inflation has been reduced. So it's like you have all these pain points that are slowly being, reduced or reversed from when we were in that Trump administration, when all this pain was caused. It's like, why, like we've all endured this pain collectively. Like, this is a fantastic message. I love this. And it looked like the crowd was rocking in there. I did look it up, about 20,000 people in the United Center, but you're saying there could have even been more. Cause I mean, like every seat's filled and it's like standing room too, right?
And you have staff, and you have Secret Service. I mean, we had the Secret Service, just right in front of us pretty much the whole time, because I was in the second row up. Our first row up is right on the floor.
Crazy.
And so we got some amazing seats. You could tell that there were the spirits of a lot more people than the folks that were there, because the energy level just was so.
I can only imagine. I mean, I've been to like professional sporting games, right? Like hockey games, you know, you're in an arena, you've got the whole crowd going and everything when a goal scores, but that doesn't seem like anything compared to the energy that I saw in this arena tonight when people like AOC were giving their speech, when Jasmine Crockett was giving her speech. I mean, like the crowd was like on their feet. I mean, like when Biden came out, and, oh my God, the energy when Biden came out.
You have to understand that energy existed through the whole thing.
Yeah.
5 hours of, and that energy level never dropped. That's why I say the Republicans don't know what's
it's
going
true.
to happen.
Now, Hillary Clinton's speech, former senator, former first lady Hillary Clinton. Tell me a little bit about what you thought of that.
I thought it was really good. And I did get that little video of her walking out. The great thing about our seats also is we're right there at the door where everybody comes out backstage. I didn't take pictures of everybody coming out, but
let's you know what, let's take a look at that right now, and then let's also take a look at maybe something that was being chanted after she got out there on stage.
Please welcome the former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
He made his own kind of history, the first person to run for president with 34 felony convictions. As Vice President, Kamala sat in the Situation Room.
So, Jesse, I got to ask you, were you participating in this chant of lock him up?
Maybe. Yes, I did it. A lot of us in the Nebraska delegation did it. There were some people who were a little shocked at it, and I was like, if anybody deserves an opportunity to do this, it is.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It didn't help her win any points or anything when it was like, oh, when they go low, we're gonna go high. I just feel like we've kind of come full circle on it. It's like, fuck it, lock him up, you know.
Yep.
But
it's like.
Yeah, well, he did it to himself. I mean, we're just kind of pulling the string here. He'll find himself there on his own, that's for sure. Somebody I've always loved ever since the impeachment days, Jamie Raskin, representative from Maryland. Gosh, he opened it up with the best line right here. Let me go to that real quick.
Hello, America, and welcome to the Democracy Convention. Welcome to the Freedom Convention.
Welcome to the Democracy Convention. I mean, like, is there any more fitting opening line to a speech for a time like this and a night like this, Jesse?
It's incredible. And that is another one of the themes that runs throughout it. And Biden specifically hit on it very heavily is this is a fight for democracy. Yeah. This is a fight to see, are we going to keep our form of government? Because people can say Trump is joking all he wants about, being a dictator from day one. That is not a joke. That is a man who constantly tells you what he wants to do and what he's going to do, and then tries to play it off as it's not me. That's not what I meant. It's fake news. I didn't really say that. And it is just friggin' ludicrous. he wants to destroy democracy. I mean, there's conversations in a lot of states with Republican elections officials who are busily trying to change the rules. It's especially bad in Georgia, to make it so that there's the ability to litigate on the basis of standards which are not defined. Their whole goal is to tie up and prevent certification of election results so that the election goes to the House of Representatives. So that's another big reason why we need to have Democratic voters come out and do not give the Republicans the power to do this. And we do that by not having Republican congressmen. And there are so many Republican congressmen who could go who are nothing but obstructionists. They play games. And this isn't a game. This is the United States of America. This is all of our families. And to have them playing semantics and doing constant investigations, making claims, and then what they present is nothing close to what they were trying to claim. It's harmful to this country. It is extremely dangerous for this country. And so that's why, after so many years, I could not fathom being a Republican at this point with what they're trying to do. So yes, that is another theme that is going to be recurring, that this is a vote on democracy.
Yeah, and just a quick plug too, that we need to remove that last Republican representative in LA County out there in Lancaster. So I've been saying it a lot. George Whitesides is running for the representative out there, and he's going to be the man that helps to save America, because that is one of the big swing districts that'll definitely go Democrat, and it's looking really, really good right now.
And that is Garcia was really lucky to get in based on some circumstances that were a little bit iffy on some of it, but he did get reelected, and I know because I get a lot of info from out there being in Ventura County, even though he's not in the district that I'm in, but it was and I think I donated to a Democratic candidate like 4 years ago who was running against him. And she ultimately dropped out of the race, but that was like the first political donation I had made in like 30 years.
They've got a great guy running out there right now, the former CEO of SpaceX. He's been out there in Lancaster for a really long time, and he's polling really well. So that could be what saves the House. And then in a nightmare scenario like that, could end up saving the presidency as well, too. Moving on to one of my favorite speakers of the night, though, Representative Jasmine Crockett. I mean, she gave a speech tonight. I mean, she took you through a range of emotions. She's an amazing speaker. We saw her go viral. We already knew she was an amazing speaker. Let's listen to her just real quick.
I was going through all of this when I visited the Vice President's residence for the first time. As I approached Vice President Harris for our official photo, she turned to me and asked, "What's wrong?" Mind you, we'd never met, but she saw right through me. She saw the distress. I immediately began crying. And the most powerful woman in the world wiped my tears and listened.
You know, and this is that kind of range of emotions that I was talking about, because she gets you fired up, and then here she is talking about Kamala wiping the tear from her face, and what a more poignant like moment she created, like right there, to like just kind of display Kamala's like, you know, like character, like
compassion and understanding and support, being so supportive of someone who needs it in that moment. and it was such an amazing speech on a lot of different levels, and the one I laughed at the most, and it's what we have to do is we have to start laughing at Republicans for the stupid shit that they do. And her comment was about how after she went viral, just for giving the Republicans, some of the stuff they're dishing out. And for me, that was just so classic prosecutor. It's like hoisting them on their own petard, right? It's like, hey, I'm just doing it because you all are so stupid. You think, it's the ultimate
It really was. And this is the part of the night, I think, where right from where Jasmine Crockett started until you get to Biden, we're building into kind of this almost very emotional crescendo now at this point, because immediately following her, we have, a reproductive rights testimonial given by 3 individuals. And that first couple, I mean, like, I had to turn away. It was heart-wrenching having to listen to her story. I mean, like, I lost it. I just started crying.
And they were literally right in
Yeah.
front of us. Because they were on the far, as you're looking at the stage on TV, they were to the left-hand side, and that's right where we were. And so I was listening to it and seeing them. And yes, it is such a heartbreaking
And
story.
there must not have been a dry eye in the entire room by the time that those 3 individuals got done speaking. Just the contrast that the last speaker gave between Donald Trump saying that the abortion ban is a beautiful thing, and then her quote, and I'm just going to read it here: "There's nothing beautiful about a child carrying her parent's child."